Hello, dear friends. Here we are for another study of the Spiritist magazine every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We come together to study one of the articles from one of the issues of the Spiritist magazine. As always, you can visit spiritistmagazine.org to get the copy of the magazine on your devices. To perhaps you're interested in having the physical copy of the magazine, you can order from the partner Mag Cloud, and you can also access the link for the Facebook page of the magazine. Perhaps you would like to download the app for your Apple or Android devices. And there's also, of course, a donate button if you're able to help with these endeavors. And today we have the most beautiful article from the Spirit Maria Dolores. And this article is titled Divine Surprise. So she has a beautiful teaching for us, and it's from issue 43. And I will be sharing my screen with those who are watching this live so that you can see the beautiful graphic design and the beautiful way the magazine displayed to you and I. So if you go to issue 43, I'll show now the thumbnails. This is the cover of the magazine. It was originally published in October of 2018. And if you scroll down towards the end of the magazine, we have 60 pages of content for this and most issues. You'll come across one that is titled Divine Surprise. Let me just quickly check the audio and the video to make sure we are transmitting and everybody can hear us. So today we'll talk about this article, and the medium is Francisco Candido Xavier, lovingly known in Brazil as Chico Xavier or Chico Xavier. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to read her article and think about ways to apply these teachings to our daily lives. Maria Dolores says, good and fraternal soul, if the impulse to pray blesses you, whenever you wish to pray to seek the Lord's security, do it anywhere. So friends, when was the last time you prayed today? She says, whenever you feel the impulse to pray, pray it. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, this is what I'm holding up if you're watching this on the video. We have two chapters. In the Gospel according to Spiritism was a compilation of teachings from the higher spirits that Kardec brought to you and I back in 1864. And we have two chapters, so it's 160 years of the publication since the publication of the Gospel according to Spiritism. And you have chapter 27 and chapter 28, which are the last two chapters of this book. They're specifically talking about prayer. If you don't know how to pray, would like to know more, the instruction from the spirits, these are the two chapters you want to study. Chapter 27, Asking the Wish Shall Given, and chapter 28, a collection of Spiritist prayers. Not only we're going to learn, the first chapter has many pages, that how to pray and why to pray. We also remind ourselves that Jesus prayed, right? He taught us the Lord's Prayer during the Sermon on the Mount. And he was in constant contact with God through prayer. He told us also watch and pray. These are ways that we can learn about prayer in the context of Spiritism. So we learn something new every day in each reincarnation, because perhaps we came from a different religious background where prayer is more mechanical, is more performative. And so today we're going to learn that there's many ways and many reasons why we should be praying And then there are manners and ways there are giving the prayers more power, more ability to bring this connection with the divine. So Maria Dolores is saying, good and paternal soul, this is you and I. If the impulse to pray blesses you, whenever you wish to pray, to seek the Lord's security, do it anywhere. So she's already telling us here, you don't need to pray only when you are at a religious institution or at the spiritual center. She says anywhere is a place to pray. She says the entire earth is an open temple for the inspiration that pours from heaven. So as we get acquaintance with the teachings of Spiritism, as we get to know ourselves as immortal souls reincarnated on the earth at this time, we expand our eyes and our senses to seek this divine inspiration from everywhere. So if we look at, for example, when we look at nature, right? So we look at nature, it's summer here where I am. We see the birds, we see the animals, we see the wildlife, the trees, they're all blossoming, there are flowers, there are many trees that are still green. Where I am, the trees do lose their leaves and change color in the autumn, which is in and of itself a truly inspirational moment for reflection. But the entire earth, wherever you are on the earth, has this inspiration that is pouring from heaven. So in the Genesis book, Kardec will show us the divine providence is constantly emanating from God resources, divine resources. And as we evolve in the scale of spiritual development, we're better able to capture those resources in order to help ourselves, our self-improvement, but not in a selfish way, but to help ourselves improve through service to others. She continues, but to find the masters that seek you, that's what we want to do, right? We want to find Jesus wherever he is, everywhere. Come down to the valleys of tears, to life's valley of tears, where comfort is late to arrive, where the pain of indigence, the tears of widowhood roam along the path's edges, extending a strong arm to the ones who wander without direction and who are lost in the nostalgia of the home life that has disappeared. So she's starting to describe to you and I the reality for a lot of the spirits that are reincarnated on the earth. So she says, in order to seek the master, we come down to the valley of tears, meaning wherever we are in the world where there's suffering, where comfort is late to arrive, we're comfortable right now in our homes, doing our work. If you're watching this live or on demand, I hope you're comfortable and comforted by these words by Maria Dolores. Where the pain of indigence, when you don't have anything, where the tears of widowhood, when you lost your partner, roam along the edges, come down to extend a strong arm to the ones who wander without direction. There are lots of souls on the earth wondering, why am I here? What is the point living as it's only once? YOLO, right? YOLO. Those who are lost in the nostalgia of the long home life that has disappeared. Perhaps their idea of a perfect family is not there anymore. Listen to who else? Listen to the ones who go during the cold and windy night without being able to tell anyone about their suffering, right? So many are homeless, unhoused, who, even if they are housed and they have a family, but they don't have their connection with their loved ones. They hunger for what? Care and understanding. Sometimes just a small talk, acknowledging them in a traffic light, talking to those strangers without the fear that sometimes we have of engaging with one another. Stop and hug the child that is consumed by disdain and wiped out by disease. Stop and assist in clothing, healing, and feeding this small flower. So here's the importance of caring for the young, our young, and the young of others. Because when our young is cared for, we're down 10 miles down the road, those are not, there is an imbalance there. So one day that lack is going to come to fruition, and everyone in society will feel that lack, right? Hear the cry of a sick person who has nothing but dust and tears as a bed in a narrow corner of the land of no one. How many are suffering in hospitals would love to have a visit? How many are in nursing homes whose families don't visit them, assisted living facilities? Many of them have children, and those children barely appear for many different reasons. So if you have the time, visit those places and allow those people to talk to you. They want your companionship. Be aware of the cries of those in the height of anguish, the sad hearts torn apart by slander. Go where there's affliction. So these are afflictions, right? Let's list them in the world of trials and expiations. Comfort late to arrive, indigence, tears of widowhood, wandering without direction, and thinking that we're going to find ourselves by our social media clicks and attention, lost in the nostalgia of what it was, right? We want to make the places that we live just like they were in the past. Those who go cold, hungry, those who hunger for care and understanding, those children who need assistance, physical assistance with things that make life better if we have a house, clothing, food, shelter, but also nourishing the souls of those who come our way. Sick persons who are alone, those who cry in anguish for whatever reason. So she says, go where there's affliction. So when was the last time we left our comfortable instances to go after and to seek to be of service? And what do we do when we go to help? With offering each sufferer a gift of love. And there you see a divine light sweetly irradiating peace, goodness, and joy. Friends, that's what Jesus did. If we hear the accounts of his ministry, we only have a small amount of all he done, because only a few things he did were written down and passed along, so that you and I today can rely on the beautiful scholars and translators of Hebrew and Greek to bring to us the teachings of the Christ within the context of being a Jewish rabbi 2,000 years ago. But that's what he did. He went out and helped. He was always of service. You never heard him complaining. He never said, oh no, mine first, my activities first, my self-care first. He always went and helped. And I bet you if we could see the sweet divine light, his would be resplendent. Because we know spirits like Jesus are living in the sun, and the sun is giving us this beautiful light that sustains life on the earth. And we want to radiate peace, goodness, and joy. I mean, meeting each sufferer where they are. If it's clothes that they need, food they need, shelter. But a lot of us, even when we have all of that, are unhappy. So what is your soul yearning for? What is the souls of your loved ones yearning for? For belonging and recognition. So we acknowledge that their presence on the earth is the most important thing, that they need to stay, so we help them. For on this light, the deepest part of your trusting soul will hear Jesus tenderly say, and there's no way I can say this in a manner that will make it just like Jesus. So I want you to visualize yourself helping others, radiating this divine light, peace, goodness, and joy in you as you're serving. And then you hear Jesus say to you, whichever way you imagine Jesus to be. As a superior spirit, he doesn't have the physical body and the mouth that we have, so you'll most likely hear with the tissues of your spirit, and you perceive the presence of Jesus that way. But just imagine he was incarnated on the earth once as a Jewish man. If you watch the series The Chosen, for example, can give you a good idea what it might have been to be around him. That's what I want you to visualize Jesus looking into your eyes. He says, "Dear soul, come." He's calling us. "I hear your voice in prayer everywhere. I must, however, await you in the fields of goodness. You said I was right in knowing that God loves and understands through you. You looked so far away from me, and all along I await you close by. Good soul, I am here." Nowhere we see that Jesus is only about enjoyment, travel, trips, passports, experience. He came to show us what the true humanity is. He worked, he studied, he cultivated his relationships, he served. He was not attached to material possessions. He didn't leave anything in writing, not even his physical body was left for us. But his teachings divided history before him and after him. And today, our hearts and minds are open to receive these teachings. As we visualize Jesus saying this, we look for him so far away, and he is at all times would be by our side. So, dear friend, I hope that you feel this divine surprise within you that nourishes you in a way that will allow you to go and serve, to go and help. Remember, we always talk about being the one serving and giving. But if you're in the receiving end, that's okay as well. Accept help. Don't prevent people. Don't rob people of the ability of being of service. Allow them to help you. That teaches them to be helpful, and it teaches us to be humble. So if we learn to give, imagining Jesus coming to you and asking you to follow him, just as he does every day, and he did in the New Testament, calling his first apostles, his 12 apostles. He's there asking for us to be of service. So we work up that muscle of service. So if one day adversities come our way, we know that we would like to be helped. So we help. We accept the help. And today the spirits are giving you and I this opportunity of service, of study, encouraging us to pray, because when we pray, we connect with the divine. And when we connect with the divine, good entities come to our side. And when good entities are on our side, we feel inspired to be better, to transcend us, ours, mine, to be just about ourselves and our families, to serve the greater community on the earth. So this is from the book Enlightened Messages by Several Spirits, through Chico Xavier, and this book was published by the Spirit Society of Baltimore in Baltimore, Maryland, my first Spiritist home ever. That's where I got to know Spiritism, and you never know where Spiritism will take you. Dear friends, don't forget to visit spiritistmagazine.org to know of resources. There's a contact form, all of the links we talked about before. God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another study of the Spiritist magazine. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.